Hey guys, it's Katie with S&B, and today we're going to install our cold air intake on this Jeep 392. So let's get started. Disconnect the negative terminal on the battery. Using a 10mm socket, unscrew the bolt securing the air box to the fender. Using a 5/16 nut driver, loosen the clamp on the throttle body. Disconnect the two push rivets on the intake tube. Disconnect the IAT sensor and set aside the harness. Now you're going to remove this engine cover and then you're going to disconnect the CCV hose. 2021s have tensioning clamps, so you'll just have to use some pliers. Now you can remove the CCV hose from the vehicle. Pull the stock tube off the throttle body and then you can pull the airbox out of the vehicle. Install the silicone tube seal onto the airbox. Now you need to decide if you want to install your optional silicone box plug. If you're in extreme heat or really dusty conditions, you're going to go ahead and want to install it. And if you're not, then you can just leave it out. Using the provided hardware, secure the mounting bracket to the airbox. When installing the IAT grommet onto the intake tube, you'll want to make sure that this little tab lines up with this notch. Install the air filter into the airbox. And then slide the intake tube through. Once you have the filter and the tube installed, you can then secure it down using a 5/16 nut driver. Now you can install the coupler onto the end of the intake tube and secure it down using your 5/16 nut driver. When installing the S&B intake into the vehicle, you're going to start by installing the coupler onto the throttle body, and then you're going to install the box by pushing these prongs into the grommets. Now you're going to reinstall the bolt that you removed earlier. So first install the rubber isolator underneath the bracket and then secure it down. Tighten the hose clamp, securing the intake tube to the throttle body. So now we're going to need to cut the CCV hose in order to make it fit. So how we do that is we reinstall it back on the engine side and then measure it over to the connection, and you'll want to go about 1 inch over, and then you can just mark it. And then take it back off and you'll cut it. Now cut where you marked. Once you have the hose cut to length, install the two hose clamps and then reinstall it into the vehicle. Now you can tighten the hose clamps. Next, you're going to reinstall the engine cover. We need to transfer the IAT sensor from the stock intake to the new S&B intake. So you'll want to slightly lift this tab over the ramp to make it easier to uninstall. When installing the IAT sensor into the intake tube, you'll want to make sure this notch is backed up to the ramp. reconnect the harness. We already removed the protective layer from the lid, but you're going to want to make sure you remove it from both sides and in between the logo. Now you can install it into the lid seal. Now you can snap your lid into place, and it is easier if you go with the hood scoop side first. Now you're going to want to zip tie the excess harness. All right guys, so that is it. It is a super easy install, but if you have any questions, you just want to know more, you can always check it out on our website or give us a call, and I'll see you next time.